All right, so I'm like, it's interesting to describe this because it's David Attenborough. He is a national treasure, and anyone that says otherwise, I don't want to talk to you ever.
Yeah,
Because
I was talking to Zoe about this before, and she was like, "I don't understand though. Why is he so loved?" And I was like, "We'll watch this, and you will realise."
that's the thing. I don't know. Like, I assume he's known worldwide.
Yeah, he must be.
But I guess he's not as like universally loved as he is.
Well, he's a
England.
national treasure. I don't know if he's recognised as an international treasure, although he should be.
Oh yeah, he should be. But yeah, so it's what was it called? I didn't get the full name. I just have them as
It's
David Attenborough
David
documentary.
Attenborough, A Life on Our Planet.
A Life on Our Planet.
And when I saw that, I thought it was going to be more about his life than it actually turned out to be.
Well, it's
But it tracks that, but it's more of the lens of his, as it says, it's his statement.
yeah, because it instead of just being a straight up nature documentary, which he's obviously worked on a lot, he labels it his witness statement.
That's it.
As
Yeah.
to what happened to the planet and what could happen and how we can fix it. So I got really sad when I heard about it because I was like, he's like 93 or 4.
Well, he's 94 now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I was like, oh God, it's a witness. That means it's like he knows he's going to die soon. So he's just putting this out there. It made me so sad.
Yeah.
I'm going to get so upset when he dies.
Oh,
But
me too. I have to say, I did shed a tear watching this.
I know I did get a bit upset. But yeah, so it sort of starts off at the start of his sort of career, I guess. And it has these references where it's like the planet's population and then the amount of wildlife or the area of wildlife
The
still.
percentage of wildlife.
Yeah,
and
that was
the
Was it the carbon?
the carbon parts per million.
Yeah,
I
that
think
was
in the
it.
atmosphere.
And sort of spans through his career whilst referencing back to these numbers and obviously how the population's going up, the wildlife is going down, and the carbon's getting worse, and sort of presents it as a bit of a trip actually, because it starts off and I genuinely got a bit. I was like, I'm going to get so angry at this because it's just going to make me upset about how we've ruined the planet. But then it sort of went from one side to the other, and it almost ends up with him giving options of how we could fix things in the future, which gave me a little smile.
Yeah, and I think it had to do that as well, because if it had been all doom and gloom, we'd have finished it and everyone would have just been like, well, thanks for that, David, you
Yeah.
fucking Grim Reaper.
Mental health is already at an all-time low, and David Attenborough of all people just makes it worse.
Yeah, but no, it finished with quite an optimistic note, didn't it? And not saying that that's going to happen, but it's saying, these are the things that we need to do in order for it to happen.
I think that's what I mean. I feel like a lesser filmmaker would have, or it could have been easy to just say, okay, we've fucked all this up, we've screwed, and then give without sort of any viable option. Whereas it sort of went out of its way to present ideas and make it more real. I think by showing it in a documentary like that, it makes it more viable and realistic to people.
Yeah, well, it legitimizes all of these things that are generally quite easy things to do.
Given
the solutions, but I think we're talking probably a little bit too much about the content, and this is the difficult thing about reviewing documentaries. It's like, because they're, are we meant to review like how it's been put together? Because I mean, it was put together beautifully.
Oh yeah, I don't think David Attenborough has ever worked on something that hasn't turned out great. It looks amazing. The sound is the score is brilliant. But it's sort of like, that it's David Attenborough.
Yeah, he's not going to sign up for some kind of low budget, just out of college production.
Yeah, exactly.
There was that one bit at the beginning where there's like a GoPro attached to a tree, and when that shot happened, I was like, "Ooh, this is."
That was a little bit like film student.
Yeah, it was like
level.
this is a cheap gimmick that I'm hoping Netflix also had the budget that the BBC wildlife division have.
It annoyed me because the shot just before it is like a drone going over,
and
then
it looks amazing.
You see a tree falling amongst the forest, and I was like, oh fuck, that looks like, obviously it's not good that a tree's getting chopped down, but it looks amazing. And then they cut to this GoPro on a tree, and I was like, oh okay.
Yeah, And obviously they didn't spend quite as much on the grooming, because he did have that flyaway eyebrow.
Hold on. No, we're not about to slander David.
No.
Attenborough.
I love him to bits, but you would have thought that someone might have said, David, can we just do that again? You just have a bit of let's just sort out that eyebrow.
Yeah, but that's part of his appeal. Is that's not on his concerns. That's not on his mind.
I know, but it was quite distracting.
He's with the matter at hand. I'm fine with it. This is how cynical we are. Is that we can watch a David Attenborough documentary and still find fault in it.
I had to find some criticism. I couldn't just gush over it. That said, I also feel bad giving it a rating, but I've given it 10 out of 10, obviously.
I decided not to give it a rating, but I'm purely going to say watch it. I recommend watching it, because it is one of those, I feel like, especially now where there's not as much being made and everyone's sort of having either furloughed or having a bit of a shit time. It sounds a bit pretentious, but I feel like it's one of those times where we can take some time to educate ourselves and learn things. And if you're going to do it, like, this would be a great place to start.
Yeah.
So I'll just say, no review from me, where you give it a 10. I'll just say go watch it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I don't think these ones count anyway, but it's fantastic. David Attenborough delivers yet again.
Oh yeah, all filler, no killer on this channel. We've got the great stuff.